but all of you get the whole idea. So phishing attack is pretty easy. We have seen this before. So I'm just going to quickly skip this whole, all the slides because we've seen the demo again. Just the way phishing attack, you can either use a web template, you can also clone a website, right? So site cloning is another thing that you can do using social engineering toolkit. So you had phishing attack using web template, you have phishing attack using site cloning technique, and now you have something called QR code attack. So what exactly is the QR code attack, and how can you execute it? So the QR code attack allows you to create a QR code which, when sent to the victim, will forward the victim to the phishing attack or the site clone attack web page. So all you got to do is, in social engineering toolkit, you got to select the 9 option. So let me open it up again. I hope all of you know what a QR code is. If you don't know what a QR code is, let me just do a Google search and show you what a QR code is, because once you see it, you will immediately know what I'm talking about. I'm sure many of you already know what a QR code is. It's just that you probably don't remember. So QR code. Let me show you an image of a QR code. So QR code kind of looks like this. You generally take a photograph of it using your phone, and as soon as you take a photograph of it, it may take you to a particular website. So a QR code is, a lot of companies use it in their marketing and advertising programs. You take a picture of that QR code, it will automatically point you or take you to a particular URL or website address. So that is the whole point of a QR code. So imagine combining a phishing attack with a QR code. So in a phishing attack, you have to send a link to the victim, but the link is the IP address of your machine. So instead of that, what if you are able to create a QR code and send it to the victim? So then you can create a story and tell your friend, dude, check out this man, check out this amazing app, or check out this amazing game. I'm sending you the QR code of it. And when your friend uses the QR code, it essentially is going to take him to a phishing page. So in the social engineering toolkit, select the 9 option, which is QR code generator. Enter the URL for which you want the QR code. So I'm going to type in my own computer's IP address. So let me just double check the IP. So 192.168.27.128. So it will create a QR code for that link and display it on the screen, which you can then send to the victim. So the QR code has been generated under report/QR code_attack. And when you go there, you'll see a QR code like this. So now, if you combine this with the phishing attack, see in the phishing attack, the same steps you need to follow. And the last step was you send the link to your friend. And what was the link? http:// followed by your computer's IP address. But instead of sending that, you can send this QR code to your friend. Next comes the 21st attack that is possible using Backtrack. That is mass mail attack. The mass mail attack. So once again, you can execute the mass mail attack using social engineering toolkit. You basically select the mass mailer attack option. Then you can choose whether you want to email attack a single email address or massive number of email addresses. enter the email address that you want to mail bomb. So I type my Yahoo email address. You can use your own Gmail account to execute the attack, or you can use an open relay server. And after that, you can type in the actual email that you want to send out. So I'm sending an email with the subject AFCS demo and type the actual body. And if you notice, within a few minutes, an email bomb or a mass mail attack gets executed, wherein when the victim opens their email, they will have an entire bunch of emails from the email address of your choice. So mass mail attack allows you as a criminal to send an infinite number of emails to a victim from either your Gmail account or from an open relay server, mail server, which essentially allows you to send spoofed emails from any email address of your choice. Next comes another type of attack called MAC flooding attack. MAC flooding attack. Please write down this command. So first of all, what is MAC flooding? MAC flooding is an attack in which you flood the local network or the LAN that you are in with random MAC addresses, causing the switch of your LAN to go into the fail-safe mode, hence helping in sniffing. So we'll probably discuss this, hopefully, if we have time. There's an attack called ARP poisoning. So MAC flooding is one of the attacks that are possible in ARP poisoning. So hopefully, if we have time, I'll love to discuss this in some of the later lectures. But for the time being, just write down this command. The name of the software that allows you to perform MAC flooding is a software called MACoff. And it comes with dsniff. It's a part of the dsniff data sniffer. And it's basically, the command is MACoff -d space the destination IP address space -n space the number of times you want to flood the destination IP or the victim. As simple as that. So time for the last 2-3 attacks that are possible using backtrack. See, of course, there are hundreds of attacks possible. But I wanted to talk about 25 different cool attacks that are possible using backtrack. Now, one important attack that we haven't discussed so far in the AFCH course are Wi-Fi hacking attacks. So today's lecture, we won't get into this in too much detail, but I'll quickly just show you a couple of things that you can do using backtrack or Kali in terms of Wi-Fi hacking. And of course, later on, in the next few lectures, we will have an entire lecture dedicated to Wi-Fi hacking, wherein I will show you demonstrations and show you step-by-step instructions that you need to follow to perform Wi-Fi hacking. But today is just like a teaser, because we are discussing 25 different attacks possible using backtrack or Kali. So the 23rd attack is fake access point attack or fake Wi-Fi network attack using Jerix. Name of the software is Jerix, and it basically allows you to create a fake SSID or fake Wi-Fi network so that victims can connect to it, and when they connect to it, you can run a data sniffer and record their usernames and passwords and things like that. Now, Jerix comes with Backtrack and Kali Linux. Basically, you start the Jerix software, type in the fake SSID name or the fake Wi-Fi network name, then select the type of network, whether there is security, whether it's WEP, WPA or WPA2. Type in the password that you want to assign to it, and click on Start Fake Access Point. As simple as that. If that did not make sense, don't worry. When we reach the Wi-Fi hacking lecture, I'll be discussing this in detail and also be giving you a demonstration. Next attack that is possible using backtrack is cracking passwords of WEP and WPA networks using a software called Jerix. Once again, without getting into too many details, today I'll just give you a brief overview. But the actual attack, actual step-by-step instructions, actual demonstration, you'll have to wait till the last lecture of the AFCH course, which is going to be on Wi-Fi hacking. But this is a preview. So again, the name of the software is Jerix. It comes with Backtrack, or you can install it on any Linux operating system. It comes with Kali as well. This is what Jerix looks like. Step number 1, you need to click on the configuration tab. So if you look at the left top corner, there are various buttons, various tabs, and one of the buttons is configuration. So if you click on configuration, that is step number 1. Once you click on configuration, this is what you will see on the screen. So your next step is reload wireless interfaces. Reload wireless interfaces. So when you click on that button, an entire list of different interfaces that are currently available on your machine will get displayed on the screen. Then you press this button on the right, enable monitor mode. I repeat, first click on reload wireless interfaces, then all the interfaces will show up on the screen over here. Select the interface that you like to use to execute the attack, and then press the button enable monitor mode. Once you've done that, the next step is just below that, press the button rescan networks. So as soon as you press the button rescan networks, it will scan the region around you, looking for Wi-Fi networks that are within range. And then you need to select. So all the Wi-Fi networks that are within range will get displayed over here above this rescan networks button. So you press that button, rescan network, it will scan for Wi-Fi networks, and then select the Wi-Fi network that you wish to scan from the list of Wi-Fi networks that will be visible here. Next step is you need to click on WEP. So let's assume that you're cracking a WEP network. So next step is you click on WEP tab on the top next to configuration tab, and this is what the WEP tab looks like. You now click on start sniffing and logging button, and you record around 10,000 or 15,000 data packets. Right? Keep continuing until you have that many packets. If you want, you can click on injection AP as well, the button below sniffing and logging. And once you have around 15,000 data packets, you click on cracking. The cracking tab, which is kind of in the middle top, click on the cracking tab, and then you click on decrypt WEP password. And if you have enough number of data packets, that is if you have more than 15,000, it will crack the password and display it on the screen. So that is how you can crack WEP networks using Backtrack. If you want to crack WPA networks, then instead of WEP, click on the WPA tab and kind of follow a similar process. So once you have enough data packets, once you have enough data points, you can click on cracking and you can crack the WPA password as well. So I know this was very kind of hurried and very kind of like an overview of Wi-Fi hacking, but the idea today was to talk more about Backtrack or Kali than to talk about Wi-Fi cracking. The last lecture of this course is going to be all about Wi-Fi hacking. The last attack that is possible using Kali or Backtrack is spear phishing. What is spear phishing? Spear phishing is basically a very interesting technique whereby you can actually use the social engineering toolkit to send out emails to the victim, and the email will contain some attached files. And inside the file, there is some hidden Trojan kind of thing. It's like a backdoored file. And the moment the victim opens that file, it could be a PDF file, Word document, Excel file, and so on. The moment the victim opens that file, their computer gets infected, and you're able to get shell access to the victim's computer. Now, for the first time in this course, we have kind of introduced something known as a shell attack or a shell access. So what does it mean if you say that you have shell access to the victim's computer? What does it actually mean? Now, shell access basically means that you're able to control the victim's computer by typing some commands in the shell prompt. And I just wanted to kind of end this lecture by just mentioning shell attacks, because in the next few lectures, probably not the next lecture, but the lecture after that, I'll start talking about what exactly are shell attacks. There's something called reverse shell attacks, then there's regular shell attacks as well, or bind shell attacks. So you have bind shell attacks, reverse shell attacks, which give you meter-preter shell access to the victim's computer. So in that lecture, I'm going to have two different laptops with me, and using one laptop, I'll hack into the other laptop, and on one laptop, I'll type some shell commands, and I'll be able to control the web camera of the other laptop. I'll be able to control all software and all hardware of the other laptop. So with that, I have opened up the John the Ripper software again. If you notice, it's been more than an hour. It's still only 72%. And we hardly have a few more minutes left in this lecture. So I guess we'll probably just stop it here. I did show you the screenshot, and I did tell you the command that you got to type once this becomes 100%. Depending on how strong the passwords are, it can take anywhere between a few minutes to, now it's taken more than an hour as well. So on that note, I like to quickly recap what we kind of discussed today. Today's lecture was slightly different. I focused on Backtrack and Kali because a lot of you had emailed me questions about Backtrack and Kali. So I thought, let's change the order of the lectures and cover this slightly earlier than what I normally do, because I wanted all of you to get familiar with Backtrack, especially because now Backtrack is not supported and you need to use Kali. All the attacks, we saw 25 different attacks today using Backtrack. 90% of them you can do it with Kali. The remaining 10% that you can't do, you can just download the software to Kali and install it, and you'll still be able to do using Kali. The look and feel may be slightly different, but overall it's kind of the same. In fact, Kali is much better. So keeping that in mind, I hope all of you feel much more comfortable with Backtrack after today's lecture, more comfortable with Kali, more comfortable with any kind of Linux or Unix operating system. If time permits in this course, I will also try to hold. I can't promise you that because we have a very tight schedule and many more topics to cover. But in case it is possible, I will try to also do a special lecture on Kali Linux. But like I said, no promises because we have many more topics to cover as well. But I'll try my best. But I hope you feel more comfortable using Linux now. Please download it today. Start using it, because the next two lectures, we won't really need Backtrack or Kali or Linux that much. But after that, it's going to be all about Kali and Backtrack. So please download it now. It's around 3 GB in size download. So it will take you some time to download it. So please start downloading it today itself, so that by the time we reach that advanced lecture on bind shell attacks, reverse shell attacks, all of you have Unix or some kind of Unix installed on your machine. So until the next time, this is Ankit Faria signing off. I really hope all of you enjoyed today's lecture.